Hey friends, welcome aboard. It's time for your August 2024 Cape Coral Real Estate Market Update. Inventory continues to decrease and so do home prices here in the city of Cape Coral. Find out why the end of summer may be a great time to buy. I'm Cessna, your Cape Coral real estate agent, and I'm here to steer you through the maze of headlines and YouTube noise to uncover the true story. Today we dive deep into the numbers that truly drive our Cape Coral real estate market. What are homes actually selling for? Are we still in a buyer's market or shifting towards a neutral market? How are concerns about the election affecting sales here in Cape Coral? Should you be making moves in, out, or staying put? I've got the facts you need to make informed decisions about your next steps in the Cape Coral real estate scene. Remember, the headlines often paint an incomplete picture. That's where I come in. Whether you're considering buying, selling, relocating, or investing here in Cape Coral, I'm here to provide the insight and guidance that you need. So go ahead and schedule a video consultation with me by clicking the link in the description, and let's navigate the market together. One more thing, have you heard that buyers will need to start paying the buyer's agent commission out of their own pockets? There are big changes happening in the way homes are bought and sold across America that could cost you even more money. We're going to break it down for you in this video. All right, let's dive into the numbers and uncover the real story behind the Cape Coral real estate market.
Welcome to the Cape Coral Market Update for August 2024. We've got a lot of great information to go over. My name is Cessna, your Cape Coral real estate agent, and this is the single family home market report for the month of August. We'll look back at the month of July, see how the month of July ended. We're going to compare that to 90 days back to April 2024, and then we're going to compare that to an entire year back to July of 2023. This information is going to help uncover trends. We're going to look at the current state of the market and where we expect it to go in the future. We use the facts, the numbers straight from the MLS to give you this information to help you make informed decisions on whether it's a great time to buy or sell. Let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to look at market indicators. This is the pulse of the market. This tells us exactly what's happening in the market. So first up is inventory. How many homes are currently available for sale? Median price point, 50% of the homes sold below this amount and 50% of the homes sold above this amount here in the city of Cape Coral. Now, these are single family homes that we're going to be looking at today. Now, days on the market. How many days are homes sitting on the market before going under contract? Next up is closed sales. This tells us about demand. How many buyers are here buying homes? We're going to look at how many closed sales we had over the last 30 days for the month of July and compare that back to April as well as July a year ago. So let's go and get started. First, we're going to look at active inventory. Currently, July 2024, we have 2,603 single-family homes available here in the city of Cape Coral for sale. April 2024, we had 2,786 homes available, and July 2023, we had 1,773 homes available. Now, down here, you can see the chart where, remember, in January, February, we really started to see that inventory jump quite a bit. And then in March, we peaked out. I think we had a few days there where we went over 2,900 homes available. We got close to 3,000 homes available. And then as we got out of season, we did start to see that inventory drop back down as fewer sellers are putting their homes on the market. Now, with that being said, there's still a lot of homes coming to the market, and there still are a lot of buyers here in the market. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. Median price point. So July 2024, we had a median price point of $385,000. April 2024, just 3 months ago, we were sitting about $415,000. July 2023, we were at $416,000. So year over year, we definitely have seen a bit of a decrease. Now, this time of the year, we do expect it to drop a little bit from where it was just a couple of months ago during season, as a lot of the buyers are here boosting up the prices. And then as we get into the summer months and into the fall, we will see those prices drop just a bit. So that's something to keep aware of. But as you can see where we've been year over year, we've been right around that 400,000 mark. We've been there, and then we dipped a little bit last December 2023, then we dropped back up, and now we've been trending down just a bit. And then this last month, we jumped to 385,000. Now, just to give you some comparison, if we compared that number back to when prices were at that price point in the past, we'd have to go the whole way back to about December 2021 is when we saw those prices that low. So do I expect them to continue to drop substantially? Not really. Over the next couple of months, we are going to see them probably drop just a bit as we get into our even slower months of the end of August and then September. And then another key player in this market right now is the election, as well as interest rates. Now, interest rates, we just had the Federal Reserve come out. They said they're not going to be changing interest rates right now. However, we did see some indications that they may be dropping those just a bit in September. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if they do that. Next up, we have days on the market. This is how many days the home sits on the market prior to going under contract. So July 2024, we had 49 days on the market. April 2024, we had 50 days on the market. July 2023, 32 days on the market. Now, as you can see, where we've been about the last 7 months or so, we've been right around that 50-day range, 45 to 50 days. So not much change there. Homes are sitting on the market. If they're priced well, they're selling pretty fast. If they're priced a little high, then they are sitting on the market just a little bit longer. But really, we're about an average market right now where we're sitting about 45 days on the market. Closed sales. So now in July 2024, we had 433 closed sales. April 2024, 533 closed sales. July 2023, 421 closed sales. So as you can see, back in April, we were jumping quite a bit, and that's during our season. You can see those higher numbers down here on the graph. Now this 433, I like to get the numbers to you as quick as possible. So the MLS has not been completely updated. There are some agents that haven't gotten their closed sales into the market yet that closed in the month of July. So I do fully anticipate that number to jump up to 460, 465, somewhere around that range. So substantially higher than we were last year in July 2023. Not as high as we were last April, but still a very solid number. I mean, over 450 homes selling in the month of July here in the city of Cape Coral. That's a lot of buyers here for the summertime. What I'm seeing really is a lot of people relocating to the area. A lot of families are coming in right now. Kids are out of school. So this is a time that families relocate to Cape Coral. And we are seeing a lot of families come into the area right now. And that's what's bringing the buyers. So let's jump forward. Next up, we're going to look at current trends. Now, I do like to go over this chart as well because this gives you kind of a snapshot of what's going on week over week. So the first one here is July 1st, 2024. This is where we were weekend of July 1st, 2024, just 7 days. We have new listings, 187, solds, 150. What else I like to look at is pendings, 112, price increase and price decrease, 298 price decreases, 19 price increases. Now we are seeing a higher than normal price decrease. We've been seeing that for the last several months. And what that's an indication of is homes are not being priced correctly when they do come onto the market. And so people are having to lower those prices. Now, one of the key things right now that we're seeing even a higher decrease in prices is we went out of season. And if a home didn't sell going through season, and it's still sitting on the market, and now we're in the summertime going through summer, and now we're getting to the end of summer, we may start to see more decreases. New listings, 139 compared to the last, now this is August 1st, 2024, so it's the last 7 days. New listings, 139, so not as many new listings coming to the market as we had last month. Sold, 122 compared to 150, and then we get down to pendings. This is what surprised me. I actually had 122 pending homes go pending here in the last week compared to 112 for the same time frame at the end of June. So that tells me there's a lot of buyers here, and they are going pending. So we're going to see those closed sales come in the next 30 to 45 days. Price decreases, 323 compared to 298. Again, that's people that are trying to sell their houses quickly and want to make sure that they take advantage of the summer market, of the families that are moving into the market, and they want to make sure that they sell those houses to those folks. Because once we get into August, September, and October, it does slow down a little bit, and it is a little bit harder to sell a house, but the advantage is for a buyer, it's really nice to be able to buy a house because you do have sellers that are willing to negotiate quite a bit. Other key numbers to be aware of. Sold price per square foot. We had a sold price per square foot of $250 a square foot. List price received, 98.4% of the list price. So that tells me that sellers are willing to negotiate a bit. But once we get those list prices where they need to be of where their actual market value of the house, they're not coming off that price a whole lot from where that is. So you do have some room to negotiate on the overall single family market, but coming off 2% is not a whole lot. And that's been right around 98% for the last several months here in the Cape Coral market for single family homes overall. Next up, we got to look at new listings. We had 684 new listings come to the market here in the city of Cape Coral in the month of July. That's still a healthy number of listings coming to the market. However, it's quite a bit different than we were just a few months ago. I think January we saw over 1,000 homes come to the market. February, March, April, it was in the 800s, 860s, 850s, somewhere in that range. So we have dropped quite a bit. Not as many new listings coming to the market at 684. We'll keep an eye on that. I don't expect that number to jump until we get to January again. Months of inventory. Now, this is a big one here, and this is what I really wanted to go over with folks, especially the ones that think that the Cape Coral market is falling apart, that it's just a horrible place to be, and everything's just falling apart. It's not the case. Now, anywhere from 4 to 6 months is considered a neutral market. Anything under 4 months of inventory is considered a seller's market. Anything over 6 months is considered a buyer's market. Now, how do we get this number? The months of inventory is basically you take a look at how many sold homes we have, and we compare that to how many homes are on the market. And this would tell us if we didn't bring any new homes to the market, that's how long it would take to sell out all those homes. So right now we're currently sitting at 6 months of inventory. We're barely in a buyer's market. We're in a very average market. There's not a whole lot of craziness going on. Now, if that number for the overall Cape Coral market jumped to 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, that's reason to really pay attention to find out what's going on. But at 6 months, we still have so many buyers coming into the market. We have over 400 homes sell. I think it's going to be 460 by the time all the numbers come in for the month of July. That's a lot of buyers. So as long as the market's moving, we're in great shape. So it's a great time to take advantage of the inventory if you're looking to buy a home here in the city of Cape Coral. Next up, we'll look at other key economic numbers. Now, this is important to understand other aspects of what drives the market. Inflation, we peaked at 9.1% back in June 2022. We're now sitting at 3%. Now, we did go up just a bit the last couple months. I think we hit 3.3% last month, but that has come back down to 3% now. That's a great sign for the Federal Reserve when it comes to interest rates. Back in November 2023, we hit a high interest rate of 8.01%. We're now sitting at 6.85%, which is excellent. It's a great place to be. We're below that 7% mark. Like I've been talking about for months, we're hitting the target of 6.5%. I think that's really going to loosen things up even further, and we'll see prices start to increase. So 6.5% is the target. Now, the Federal Reserve just came out and said they are not adjusting rates right now. However, with the market indicators coming where inflation is going down, we have a target of 2% with inflation. We did hit 3% and it is trending down. That's a great sign for getting interest rates lower. So I do believe we'll hit that 6.5% maybe around September, maybe a little after that. We'll take a look. We'll see what's happening. But at 6.85%, which we currently are at, that's a healthy place to be compared to where it's been for the last year and a half. Unemployment is at 4.1% and starting to rise. Now, we've been at one of the all-time lowest unemployment rates for the last many years, right around the high threes. However, that is starting to rise. Last month we were at 4%. This month we went to 4.1%. That's the amount of people filing unemployment claims. And so the Federal Reserve looks at this number as well. So if unemployment goes higher, interest rates will, in theory, come lower. Not that we want people to be looking for jobs, but this is the reality of what drives interest rates. On to supply. Current inventory is 2,603 homes available in the city of Cape Coral. These are single-family homes in the city of Cape Coral. Year-over-year increase, we are sitting at 47%. That's a great increase over where we were last year. But as you know, through 2021, 2022, and a lot of 2023, we were well below where we needed to be for inventory for a city our size in order to have a healthy market. When there's such a low amount of inventory, that means buyers don't have a lot of options. However, it is better for sellers because they can, obviously, there's a lot of demand and less supply. They can command higher prices. But even with the increased supply, we haven't seen prices drop a whole lot, maybe a couple percentage points. But we are watching that and monitoring that every day. Now, just to give you some insight too, just a few months ago, back in April, we were at 2,900 homes available for sale back in April, March time. So we've dropped the whole way to 2,603 current homes available on the market for sale. So we are dropping. Where I would like to see Cape Coral be is around 2,400 to 2,500 homes on the market. I believe that's a great place to be. It keeps both buyers and sellers happy. Everyone's moving and shaking and we're doing real well. So we want to see 2,400, 2,500. But anyone that gives you the talk about how inventory is so high here in the city of Cape Coral that everything's falling apart just isn't the case. We're sitting at 6 months of inventory, which is barely a buyer's market. we look at the numbers, all the numbers, and we look at the facts. Not a lot of BS here, just the facts. So let's jump on to demand. Population currently is estimated at 231,000 people here in the city of Cape Coral. Next 6 years, we're expected to be at 250,000 people. By 2050, we're going to be at 320,000 people, often ranked as one of the fastest growing cities here in the United States. Why are we such a fast growing city? Well, currently people want to move to Florida. A lot of main reasons. The weather's actually amazing here. People want to be, politics is another driver. But also Cape Coral is still value packed. There's still a lot of value for your money. I just had a family move here from Denver, and they were able to sell their house for $600,000 in Denver. They bought a house here for $478,000 on a freshwater canal with a swimming pool and 1,000 square feet larger than what they left in Denver. They were ecstatic. So for people moving in from a lot of different markets, Miami, Denver, Chicago, California, New York, anywhere, Boston, a lot of these areas, they're getting great value for their money. So a lot of great opportunity here, and that's why people are moving to Florida and why they will continue to do so for the next several years. And what happens when people move here? Demand goes up and up and up, and prices will continue to rise. So it's great to get in now. If you're planning on buying here, buy now and hold, and you will enjoy the appreciation over the next several years, especially as the city of Cape Coral starts to build that infrastructure, which they are doing. We're seeing a lot of new shopping centers come to the area, being built out, a lot of great restaurants, just a really great place to live, especially if you're a boater and love the canals and the ability to park your boat in your backyard. Next up is now the time to buy. So number one, there's a lot of great options right now on the market. Inventory did drop a bit since where it was back in April and March. However, there's not as much competition here buying homes. So if you are planning to buy or looking to buy right now, you do have a lot of options and less competition when it comes to buying the homes, meaning you can negotiate a little better with the sellers. Prices are leveling out. We're at the end of summer now. I do expect the prices to start to drop just a bit more as we get into August, September, and then the first part of October. Now, if we wait till the end of October, middle of October, and then forward, you do have a lot of seasonal buyers coming down. A lot of the snowbirds that are looking to have their home here for the 2024-25 winter season, they want to start buying in October, November. So we do start to see buyers come to the market. The competition starts to go up. So a great time to buy is August, September, October. The other big hinge right now, or the big thing going on right now that we're keeping an eye on, is the election year. A lot of people are sitting on the sidelines. They're afraid to buy. So once we get that squared away in November, then we will see the true numbers of what's going to happen here in the Cape Coral. But I expect there's a lot of great opportunity here the next several months. Once we get back to season, January, February, March, prices are going to start to jump quite a bit. So pay attention. If you're really wanting to buy a house here, now's a great time to buy. Next up, we got to talk about the buyer-broker agreement. What is a buyer-broker agreement? Well, if you've been paying attention to the news, you know that NAR, the National Association of Realtors, has changed their policies, the rules. And what that means to you as a buyer and as a realtor myself, what has to happen now is if you're going to buy a home, before I am allowed to show you any home, and this is anywhere in the United States, I have to have you sign a buyer's broker agreement, meaning that I am now going to be your agent. Now, what does that mean to you as well? Not only am I going to be your agent, but you have to pay me. In the last in the last 60, 70 years, the traditional way of doing business in real estate was the seller included the commission in the price of the home. So at closing, the buyer's commission or the buyer's fee came out of the seller's price point, or whatever he sold the house for, that came out of the seller's part. However, going forward now, I have to have, and all realtors have to have a contract with the buyer to go over how much money you're going to pay me, negotiate. Now, there's going to be a lot of discount buyer's agents out there, and they're going to be willing to take very low fees. Unfortunately, you're going to get what you pay for, just like if you were to list your house for a very low percentage. Typically, there's not going to be a lot of insight from the agent there, or not a lot of going on. So pay attention. But here's the key. As a buyer, and what's going to happen when you come work with me, we're going to negotiate and we're going to put the price into the contract to make sure that we can negotiate the buyer's fees to still be paid out of the sale of the house. So whatever that's going to be, the seller will still more than likely be paying the commission for the buyer's agent, but that has to be negotiated on the contract now, not where it was negotiated at the beginning before. A lot of exciting things happening. I think it's going to work out very well, and many sellers will still want to offer that buyer's commission to stay competitive and to attract the most amount of buyers. As many buyers, as you know, if you're a first-time home buyer, or a lot of buyers under the $800,000 price point, do not have that extra money sitting in their pocket to be able to pay the buyer's agent. So what they're doing is we're still going to negotiate that into the contract and get that paid through the purchase price. But we'll work that out. But just be aware, you need to make sure that you have a great agent negotiating for you in order to get that all wrapped up, because you don't want to be on the hook for a large commission at the end of the day, if that's to happen. So stay tuned. We're going to put out a great video on that information, and we'll go forward with that. Is now the time to sell. High inventory, but decreasing. So if you're in a position to sell, now's a good time to sell if you need to sell. Now you have to remember, high inventory, but decreasing. Our inventory is decreasing right now. However, there aren't as many buyers here in the area. We are a second home market. And so a lot of our buyers come down in the fall looking for the homes that they're going to be staying in or during the winter months. So as we ramp up, a great time to list your house is in October, November, when those buyers start to enter the market. Now, the end of summer here, it can be a little bit challenging, but everybody has to sell a house for some reason or another. And if you do need to sell your house, we can certainly get it sold and at a great price, but you do have to have it priced correctly. It has to be marketed well, and you have to be competitive on the market. Like we just talked about, sellers now are not going to be responsible. Not that they were responsible before, but the way the system was set up is many sellers were negotiated to pay the buyer's broker a fee for bringing that buyer to them. Now that's not the case. That price is going to be negotiated in the contract. So when you sit down with a listing agent like myself, we're going to go over the different parts of the process. And I'm going to negotiate how much you're going to pay me, the listing agent, to get your home sold. You also have the option to do a concession to the buyer so the buyer can pay their agent. Now, we're going to talk about that. We're going to find out how you can be most competitive in this market. Now, if you absolutely say, no, I'm not giving any concession at all to that buyer's agent, then you may eliminate a lot of buyers from being able to purchase your house because they just simply can't afford to pay that fee that they owe the buyer's agent. So there's going to be a lot of things going forward here, and I'm going to put out a great video on this, like I said. So let's jump into that here in the future. But just pay attention. From here forward, sellers, you're only responsible for the listing agent's commission. However, to stay competitive and to compete with the other homes on the market, more than likely you're going to want to offer a concession or offer to pay for the buyer's agent's commission as well. Now, right away, you're saving money right from the get-go if you're not paying that buyer's agent. So does that mean prices are going to drop 2%, 3%, 4%, 5% right away just because the seller now is not including that in the price? I don't know. We're going to find out how that works, but we may see prices start to drop quite a bit, or at least a few percentage points over the next couple of months just because of that. All right, that concludes the August 2024 market update for the city of Cape Coral. Hope you found a lot of great information in this. Hopefully you're able to make some informed decisions now on whether it's time to buy or sell here in the city of Cape Coral. If you'd like to know anything else about buying, selling, relocating, or investing here in the city of Cape Coral, or about the new NAR policies and rules, feel free to schedule an appointment with me, and my link's right below in the description, or you're welcome to call, text, or email anytime. Look forward to helping you find your piece of paradise here in the city of Cape Coral, making realty dreams a reality here in Cape Coral.